180 days, right?
Yeah.
What was,
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
and that's the question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are indifferent. I think they're distracted by the gadgets and
Sure.
video games. How do you do that? How do you...
Scare the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Scare the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Scare the fuck out of them.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
The Sacramento organization that is under the banner of Antifa is very loosely organized, right? And like we have no official like member list, right? So like when there is like right wing rallies and stuff, then we'll create an opposition to that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So and Sacramento, as a city itself is incredibly diverse, but we're surrounded by a bunch of right wing rednecks. And
For youth that like, so let's say my son is pretty
yeah.
he just is. That do, he's 17. Who want to get plugged in though to actually doing stuff in the community, to activism, where would he go to connect to some of these organizations? Like people that are interested, are there flyers or something?
No, I post a calendar every week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
For the organizations that you mentioned, so they can get connected. That's dope, man.
And then
That's dope.
so like and I do it for extra credit, so they get points for doing it. So that encourages them to do it. It's like because I can't just like, hey, here's some things going. They'll never go, right? And I've had like students show up for like protests. I've had like students show up for like protests. I probably as far left as you can go. So like I've gone down those deep dark rabbit holes where like the idea of like adventurism and just being like, why aren't people just like taking up arms? Like why? And we have historical taking up arms like against the state. Like and we have historical examples of that happening and them getting crushed and being martyrs for a cause. And it's like, okay, well, it's slow going because it takes massive amounts of organization. I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. And I addressed it to everyone because I didn't know who it was, and I was like, well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you. Like maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to. Utilize that propaganda, right? Like these are all great tools on how to get, it's like I've met so many people in my life who when they met me thought I was like off the wall, right? And now they're all Marxists, right? And I'm just like, there's a reason why Generation Z, these kids, are becoming further and further left. Your political identification changed, and I have a huge political spectrum in my room on the wall. So they take an ideology quiz in their Unit 4, and I put their face, or they have to give me a picture of themselves, and I put it on the wall where they are. Every year, they get further and further left.
Are there a lot of teachers like you, man?
I think there are more than there used to be. You needed propaganda of the deed, the economic, and also cultural propaganda as well. You needed to retrain the way that people think. So
Of China, though. Have you been?
I have not. I'm actually going in April.
Okay, cool. I wanted to go just to see it because I hear conflicting things.
Yeah, I think it's. One,
I mean, some of it's good.
like the revolution that happened in 1949 with like Mao and like the Chinese Communist Party, right? And then like the Cultural Revolution that happened in the 60s and 70s up until like Mao's death, and then Deng coming in and like opening up to capitalist, kind of investment and creating the road that they're currently on. And then like what Xi Jinping is attempting to do now, kind of like going back to more the Maoist understanding of socialism.
Both Hitler and Stalin were outdone by Mao Zedong. From 1958 to 1962, his Great Leap Forward policy led to the deaths of up to 45 million people, easily making it the biggest episode of mass murder ever recorded. Man was collectivized. People had their work, homes, land, belongings and livelihoods taken from them. In collective canteens, food, distributed by the spoonful according to merit, became a weapon used to force people to follow the party's every dictate.
It ultimately failed, right? There was a lot of excesses. People were definitely shot in the streets that probably shouldn't have been. We have to convince people that this is what we actually need.